Welcome to Monkey Love Travel. I'm your host, Jason. In our previous video, we talked about our story and how we created Monkey Love Travel and how we fell in love with cruising. Today, I want you to join me as we talk about the obsession of cruising and why we all can't seem to get enough of it. Let's swing into it. Before I get too far, I want to urge you to stick around towards the end of the video. We have recent information from Royal Caribbean that will affect pretty much all passengers on Royal Caribbean. So I'm so excited to be discussing one of my favorite topics with you today, and that's cruising in itself. There's just something about being out on the open water, surrounded by gorgeous scenery and endless possibilities, and it just gets me every time. And I know I'm not alone in that. Millions of people out there who share the same passion for cruising. But what is that? What is that about? What is it about the vacation? This type of vacation that we love so much. One of the biggest misconceptions about cruising is that it's only for a certain type of person. The retired, the wealthy, or the super relaxed. But that's just not true. The reality is that cruising can be for anyone, regardless of age, income or personality. The problem is that many people just don't understand the appeal or willing to even try it. I was once one of those people. I used to say, "You couldn't pay me to go on a cruise." Now look at us. Now we have 3 cruises planned in the near future. So keep your mind open. Try to experience new things, and you might just develop that obsession like we have. I've met a lot of people who think cruising is boring. It's just sitting on a ship doing nothing, but they're missing out on so much. Cruising is an adventure. It's a chance to explore new destinations, try new foods, meet new people, get exposed to new cultures, and experience things that you never thought you'd do. Another challenge is that potential cruisers often get overwhelmed, by the sheer number of options out there with so many different cruise lines, cruise ships, itineraries to choose from. It can be hard to know where to start. And that's before you even get started on thinking about the cabin types, the options, the shore excursions. But despite these challenges, millions of people around the world are hooked on cruising. So what's the secret to the enduring popularity? For me, it's all about the destinations. I mean, can you think of a better way to see the world from the comfort than a luxurious, excuse me, than from the comfort of a luxurious ship? You get to wake up at a new port every morning, ready to explore a new city, try new foods, and soak up new culture. And then there are the onboard activities from rock climbing walls, wave riders, skydive simulators, water slides, Broadway shows, and ice skating. Yeah, I said that correctly. Ice skating. There's literally something for everyone. Whether you're a thrill seeker or just someone who loves to relax, you'll find it on a cruise ship. And let's not forget about the food. Okay. The food, I'm talking about dining restaurants, fine dining restaurants, to casual buffets, and from gourmet burgers to artisanal ice cream. You'll be spoiled by the choices of the food on a cruise. But for me, the real magic for cruising is just what happens when you're surrounded by like minded people who share your same passion for travel and adventure. There's a sense of community on a cruise ship that you just don't find on other types of vacations. When I'm on a cruise, I come out of my shell. I'm a bit of an introvert in my day to day life. So when I'm on a cruise, I find myself wanting to engage with more people, whether it's with the staff and talking to them about, where they're from, what kind of experience they've had working on a ship, and what things they would recommend based on their own experiences. To speaking to other passengers about their experiences on other ships and maybe possibly destinations that you haven't been to yet. when we're at a port destination, we like to learn as much about the local culture and its history as we can. So when we were in Bermuda um, on our last trip, we had a tour guide, and he was originally from the UK. He moved to Bermuda nearly 30 years prior, and he told us, an interesting story about how Bermudians are often referred to as onions. He proudly went on to state that his wife was an onion. Um, and when I should state that he told us that natural born Bermudians are often referred to as onions, and that his wife was proud um, to be an onion herself. The history behind it goes back to the 1800s, when one of the Bermuda's largest exports was onions. They would ship 4,000 tons of onions to New York twice a month. So Bermuda seamen were coined onions, and Bermuda was then referred to as the onion patch. If you're interested, I'll put a link to an article that gives you more in-depth information in the description below. I don't know about you, but when I'm on a ship, I like to find simple pleasures. Our most recent trip on the Vision of the Sea, I found two such simple pleasures. One was very early in the morning. I would go up and walk on the track. And oftentimes it was before most people are even up, or before the sun's up itself. And just walking the track, in the middle of the sea, watching the sun come up is just peaceful and tranquil. It, and another, simple pleasure for me was just sitting with my wife, looking out over the horizon, whether that's up on the top deck or in one of the restaurants itself, and just looking out at the horizon, enjoying a snack, enjoying our dinner, and enjoying a drink, and just having good conversation. You see that you feel that you know all the stresses and anxieties just seem to disappear. And honestly, who wouldn't want to recreate that moment and that experience time and time again? Cruising is full of these kind of moments. That stay with you long after you disembark, and that's what it's all about for us. It makes us want to come back to have those experiences more and more. So there you have it. There's a few reasons why I think cruising is such an amazing way to travel, and quite possibly why we are obsessed with it. Whether you're a seasoned cruiser just starting out, um, seasoned cruiser or just starting out, sorry. And I hope you can relate to some of the things that I've shared with you today. Okay, so at the beginning of the video, I promised you some information from Royal Caribbean that is very new this past week. So Royal Caribbean has put a ban on a very popular item that most cruisers find as an essential part of their travel. And, a lot of you already know that you can't take any form of a surge protector outlet with you. So now that you already have those, but they put on the multi-plug adapters as well. And when I say multi-plug adapter, it's anything that is going to turn one plug, one outlet into four outlets. So if you have one device that plugs directly into it and it's extending 3 or 4 regular outlets, those are the items that have now been banned. But what you can bring is a USB extender that has one outlet on it as well. In the next video, we will present to you a list of commonly banned items and alternatives to those items. So please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that alarm bell so that way you can be notified of that next video. But for now, I want to thank you so much for watching. We'd love to hear from you in the comments below. What do you love most about cruising? And until next time, swing into adventure.